Back in the early 2010s, people were getting pretty sick of 2D Mario. For me, I liked the games, but I can admit they definitely went a bit overboard, releasing 2 new Super Mario Bros. Games in the same year. Recently, however, we have had a severe drought of new 2D Mario games, with them focusing on alternatives like Super Mario Maker. The last proper 2D Mario was New Super Luigi U in 2013. But now 2D Mario is back with Mario Wonder. Not only that, but it seems to be a vastly different experience as opposed to the very similar New Super Mario Bros. Games. But how different is it exactly, and do those differences mean a better game? Right from the start, you could tell they have put a bit more effort into story this time. On the surface, it's pretty simple and similar to previous Mario games, but this time Bowser doesn't just take over the castle, he becomes the castle. Besides that, this game is the first Mario game to have proper voice acting, which does somewhat add character to the world. Another thing I noticed is that they brought back the epilogue, which was last seen in Super Mario World and is prominently featured in the Paper Mario series. This adds a good level of context to what's happening and makes it feel more meaningful. They also have improved the levels of character interactions, with many new and existing characters appearing, each with different kinds of personalities. For example, there is a level where you get to race a Wiggler on roller skates, and when you beat him he gives you a Wonder Seed. This makes the game way better because Wiggler is based. Another factor that contributes to the characters being improved is animation quality. For Mario Wonder, they have gone with a very 2D sprite-based approach to characters compared to the 3D models used in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Due to this, they are able to make the characters feel much more expressive and interesting to look at. The way Mario moves around is very fast and fluid, and his expression changes with that. But it's not just Mario who is improved, side characters are also done in the same way, giving the game a very consistent feeling. With the animation changes, they have also changed how the game controls. In terms of movement, it feels somewhat more snappy and clean compared to New Super Mario Bros., with the time it takes to start running being noticeably shorter. But jumping just doesn't feel right to me. It might just be me, but I feel a small amount of input lag when jumping. As for moves, they have kept the spin jump, but other than that, the only moves you have outside of using badges are running and jumping. I know the game wants you to use the badges, but it would be nice if you could get the triple jump or long jump built in. I'm so used to jumping multiple times that it just feels weird not doing it. As for the other characters, the differences in controls are very minor with some height and speed differences. Unless you are using Peach, Nabbit or Yoshi. For Peach you get the float ability, and for Yoshi you get to do a flutter jump. Both Nabbit and Yoshi are immune to damage, which makes them the easiest characters to use. Though I would say the game isn't that challenging to begin with. And speaking of challenge, the level design, obviously the most important part of any Mario game. And for Mario Wonder, they have drastically changed how the levels work with the Wonder Flower. So basically, around halfway through the level you will uncover a Wonder Flower, which will change the level into a kind of remix stage, which will either change the world layout, or make you complete a challenge in order to get a Wonder Seed. You could be collecting coins in a mini collectathon kind of level, or you could be getting flattened by pipes falling from the ceiling. The Wonder mechanic adds a decent amount of variety to levels, and increases the replayability. Some of my favourite Wonder levels include a level where singing piranha plants guide you through the level. This one made me laugh a lot, and it reminded me of something like from Rayman Legends. Another notable level is one where you change the gravity and go sideways, which is probably the closest we will get to Mario Galaxy at this point. The problem I have with the levels though is the lack of secret exits. In pretty much every Mario game you could find secret exits which give you alternative paths that can lead you to new levels or a shop or a cannon that shoots you to a different world. In Mario Wonder they only really have one set exit which opens up the path to the next level. Even the levels with multiple flagpoles don't do anything aside from some small bonuses, and aren't exactly secret either since you go past them when you do the Wonder Flower. The lack of secret exits really hurts the overworld, and weakens the level of exploration the game has to offer. Another problem I have is the difficulty. Well, the new Super Mario Bros. Games weren't exactly hard, so I wasn't really expecting anything super challenging. But it would have been nice to see the levels be a bit harder, especially considering they keep hammering on about the stupid badges. There is one exception to this, however, with the Special World. Similar to Star World and Mario World, this is a bonus world that offers more challenging levels. They aren't ridiculously hard, but they are well designed enough to where I can say they are pretty tough. That said, there aren't too many of these levels, and the majority of the levels in Mario Wonder are pretty easy. The level design, however, does make up for a lot of the difficulty's shortcomings, so it's not exactly a bad thing, but it could be a lot better. Aside from the main levels, there are also other side levels with small single-screen challenges. I already mentioned the Wiggler level earlier, but there are also levels that force you to use certain badges, and music levels which make you collect coins that go along to familiar themes from past Mario games. I find these levels to be very hit and miss, with some being pretty fun, but others being annoying or forgettable. There are also these puzzle levels which have you find hidden coins in order to get a Wonder Seed. These ones are pretty good, though some of the coins are hidden in bullshit places that you can only find by randomly hitting the air searching for invisible blocks. Now for the elephant in the room. Literally. Mario Wonder focuses mostly on new power-ups, with only really the Fire Flower being the big returning one. The main power-up for Wonder is of course the elephant. Similar to the Mega Mushroom, this lets you become bigger and break blocks, but it also lets you use your shrunk to hit enemies like a sword. The elephant power-up is fine, but its size and weight can get annoying, especially in small places where Mario slows down to move to the other side. We also have the drill and bubble power-ups. The drill lets you go into the ground, which lets you skip walled off areas and find collectibles. But you can also use the drill to break blocks faster than just ground pounding them. The bubble lets you blow bubbles, which sounds pretty lame, but it does have some use cases. For example, you could use the bubbles to reach collectibles inside the walls, and jump on the bubbles to reach enemies that are higher up, or get a high up collectible. Both these power-ups are useful depending on the level you are in, making the type of power-ups you use feel more varied, though I prefer to use the elephant one most of the time. But what is the point of having power-ups to get collectibles if there are no collectibles? Well, Mario Wonder has many. First off is the Wonder Seeds. These are basically the stars from Mario Galaxy or the moons from Odyssey, and they unlock levels which let you progress. There are usually about 2 or 3 per level, and you get 1 or 2 for beating the level, and then another one where you finish the Wonder Flower challenge. The other type of collectible is the Wonder Coin. They can be found throughout the levels and are unlimited, though there are 3 big coins per level which are collectible. These give you 10 coins each. The Wonder Coins are used to buy standees, which are kind of like stickers, but the way you obtain them is completely random. By spending 10 coins, you will obtain any of the standees, meaning you will encounter dupes a lot. There is a way later on to get a new standee every time, but this costs more coins. Finally, I want to talk about audio and the other big elephant in the room. Of course, no Mario game is complete without some great music, and unfortunately Mario Wonder's soundtrack is nothing special. Most of the tracks are reused frequently, and they aren't that great to begin with. A lot of them feel very stock, with them not really coming off like something Nintendo sounding. One of the tracks sounds like something straight out of a circus, and I find it very jarring. Then we have the big change to Mario's voice. When the game was first announced, it was very apparent that the voice was not the same. And now the game is out, not having Charles be the voice of Mario just doesn't feel the same. The voice of Mario in this game isn't bad, and he doesn't exactly say much, so it isn't the end of the world. But when I hear him speak, I don't think it's Mario, I just think it's someone doing a Mario impression. But overall, I think that's the main problem with this game. It's not bad, but it just doesn't feel the same. The level design is very good, but aspects from previous Mario games are sorely missing in this game. Along with the fact they neutered the multiplayer by not letting you kill your friends in the game, which, let's be honest, was one of the best parts of playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and the music being a bit generic. The game just feels slightly soulless. But if you don't care about all that and want a good 2D Mario game, then this game does that very well, with great levels and cool new mechanics that change up the 2D platforming genre and make it feel fresh. Hopefully this is a new start for 2D Mario.